British band Iron Maiden are in Brazil, and they can't move for fans. The group has a broad international appeal, but the South American fan base is its most fanatical. This dates back to their largest ever gig at the Rock in Rio festival in 1985. But the story begins about 10 years before that, in the back rooms of the pubs of London's East End.
Yeah, I mean, we formed in '75, and basically, I mean, it was a real tough time.
I first came across the band about April '79. First time I saw them, Steve was singing, and believe me, Steve can't sing. So, what I really did think was so special was the way that Steve and Dave just looked the audience in the eye. I'd never seen that with that intensity. But the connection, the eyeball-to-eyeball connections, and it was the same when I first saw them, the same to this day. I think it's that sort of attitude which separates Maiden from everyone else.
Smallwood has stuck with the band ever since.
Mr. Rod Smallwood, I love you more than... Are we cool? Or...
We're always cool.
Oh, we're cool, yes, sir.
He may be loath to admit it, but Smallwood has become something of a celebrity himself.
I've always got an ambition for this band, and I think I always will have. I mean, that's my job, that's what I'm supposed to do. And they don't complain, so we still do it.
Today, Iron Maiden are filling stadiums across the globe and playing to crowds far exceeding their wildest expectations. Today in Sao Paulo, the streets are lined with fans, queuing for a spot at the front of the 50,000-strong stadium. Backstage, the band are smuggled in.
War wound, boys and girls.
Maiden Brazil!
Meanwhile, the stadium fills with excited fans.
It's going to be a little crowded backstage. Stage left here, we have Yannick's rig, Steve Harris's world. If you watch your step in here, this is Nico's drum world.
Step into my boudoir. Welcome to my domain. This is where I love to live. This is where I do live. Eat, breathe. They can see us.
Over here is Bruce's area where he comes off stage and dries his face and drinks his hot coffee. Over here we have Adrian's guitar world. The band spends most of their time out here with the fans.
With just minutes to go until showtime, trouble comes. Rain.
It's just starting to sprinkle. You have 7 minutes from now.
Word of rain travels fast. The sudden shower spreads concern backstage.
It looks like it's going to stop, then just wait 5-10 minutes.
We get real bad nerves. We still do. I think the day you lose your nerve and you go out, you know, it's time to hang it up. You're doing it for the wrong reason.
Before you go on, there's certainly a surge of adrenaline.
All the little worries you have, you know, God, you know, I'm going to fall over and the guitar's going to not work. I don't know, stupid things.
You know, your heart's beating fast and you feel the blood circulating.
The dark imagery of bands like Maiden has often prompted the assumption that the message is sinister.
Heavy metal bands are often accused of, you know, encouraging aggression and violence, but to be honest, there's very little to suggest any of that is really true.
Then down and falls, comes down.
I mean, I think the key thing there is that you have to recognize heavy metal music as being art. And art has always explored things that we don't have an easy time understanding.
But it's done with a view towards storytelling and drama and a bit of dressing up going on, you know.
Most people perceive heavy metal to just be a bit of a racket. It's the complete opposite of the stuff that's number one in the charts, but that's kind of the point.
I think people are quite surprised how melodious we are. And we are all about melody. And it's not just a load of old racket like some people would like to believe.
But I think what Iron Maiden recognizes when they get on stage is what happens on stage is directly related to what happens in front of them.
And they're a part of the show, you know. Big part of the show.
I quit.
The fans may play a crucial role, but an Iron Maiden show would not be complete without one particular guest appearance.
Eduardo.
The wonderful Edward.
That Eddie would be like probably the 7th member of Iron Maiden.
That they've always had this figure that can define the band. And the band can be regular guys.
Eddie is everything we don't want to be.
He's the most outrageous and biggest rock star there's ever been. And it's great because it means that we don't have to be.
In part 3, Dickinson reveals his view from behind the mask.